As the weather continues to warm up, have you done the maintenance on your heating and air system? Our next guest can certainly help you out. Today we talk to Anchor Heating and Air on the Charleston Women Podcast.
This is Charleston Women Podcast, where you can meet like-minded, strong, independent, professional, and inspiring local women. This is Charleston Women Podcast.
Now we would like to welcome to this edition of the Charleston Women Podcast, Stephanie Postell of Anchor Heating and Air. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm certainly excited to be here today.
Absolutely. You know, you do HVAC, and I think a lot of times, this is going to sound sexist, but a lot of times we think of men, right? I know you're fighting that.
That's right.
I think you're really like changing things. And that's kind of what I want to dive into, because I was just on your TikTok. And I love it that you have like girls doing all the things, which is pretty awesome. But let's just start with you and your husband. You are married co-owners, correct?
We are.
And just tell me like your story, how you guys decided to start this company.
Yeah, so David and I have both been in the industry for a good while. Here in Charleston, we're both lifelong residents. Hard to come by sometimes these days. But yeah, David has been in the industry for a little over 20 years, and I've been in for a little over 10. I've been a business owner here in Charleston. I actually started as a kindergarten and first grade teacher back in the day. So, our roots run deep, and we've got lots of friends and family and people that we've taken care of over the years, and in our different roles at other HVAC companies. And we just really wanted to do it our own way and be the ones that decided how we did business, how we took care of the community that supports us. And so that brought us to Anchor. And we've been open about 16 months, and we're having a blast.
Was it a difficult decision to go in with your husbands? You know, I have to ask.
Yeah,
I don't know if my husband and I can work like all day together.
Right. Well, we have a great history because we've both been in the industry and had our own lanes to begin with. Mm-hmm. I think it's made it a little bit easier. I've always been in operations, and so I've kind of always taken care of the business side, where he's the technical expert. He's really the one that crafts the product that we have to sell, right? Because he is making sure that we have the greatest trained technicians, the highest expertise. And I back up a little bit on the customer service training side. And so we have a great relationship, and we talk about business all the time, but that's okay. We really have our own lanes. And when we do a really great job of staying in our own lanes, there's really not a problem at all. So
can we talk about your branding a little bit? Because I think it is so fun. Who came up with the name? Who decided like how you're going to wrap the trucks? Where'd you get the look?
Yeah. So Anchor came up out of actually a suggestion from my sister. We had gone through some difficult times to get to the point of creating Anchor. And my sister sent me a quote that said, "As long as you are anchored in the Redeemer, then it doesn't matter how much the winds blow or how high the tide is, you will always be in good shape." And so when I got that quote from her, I looked at David and I was like, we're naming our company Anchor, and that's what it's going to be. And so while people think that it's a very nautical theme, right? Obviously with the coast and everything, it really has a lot more meaning to us than that. So Anchor was born, and then we are, because this is not our first go round in the industry, we really wanted to create a disruptive brand so that when people saw our trucks, heard our name, that they would immediately go, wow, what's that, right? We're not typical red and blue. We're not just the hot and cold people, but we're really creating a brand that when people see it, they feel something about it. And I love that we've been able to create that. We did have a person who does national branding for home services companies help us with the branding. But it was really a process of us saying who we were and who we wanted to be and how we wanted customers to perceive us. And he took all of that and helped us create our brand. You might notice on the anchor, which of course is very important to us, but there are actually pearls wrapped around the anchor. And I've been wearing pearls since I was 12. And just about every day. So very rare that you will see me without my pearls on. And it's been that way since I got them the first time when I was 12. So we wrap the pearls around the anchor, and we have the pearl promise, which we say we'll show up when we say we're going to show up. We do what we say we're going to do, and we're going to exceed expectations every time. And so those things are just important to us because there are lots of choices for heating and air in Charleston, obviously, but we want to be the only choice.
Right.
Podcasting has exploded in popularity, especially local podcasts. As of 2022, 62% of Americans have listened to a podcast. 38% have listened in the last month. 26% in the last week. The podcasting audience is booming with no signs of slowing down. Call the podcast hotline to be featured on these podcasts or to receive information about podcast marketing. Call 843-530-0403 or visit carolinapodcasts.com.
You're listening to the Charleston Women Podcast.
And that's why I love doing this podcast, Stephanie, because I never would have noticed the pearls. And I love hearing your story and for others to hear it, those personal touches, because that's what sticks with us and resonates and helps us make the decision, right? When we choose who we're going to choose, when you know the brand story. And speaking of that, I know you have said that your relationship with the community is like kind of the driving force with your business. You know, a lot of people lead with like, we do X, Y, and Z, but you're leading with relationships. Why is that?
Well, I know that, for us, it is the people that are supporting our business. They're making sure that our employees have work. And so it's only natural for us to give back, right? Because we want to be the brand that people choose, but we also want there to be an understanding that it goes both ways, right? When you choose us, it's not just for us to, be successful and be the greatest company, but also then it gives us the ability to pay for, our teachers to have a teacher appreciation lunch or, a church that needs some help and they can ask and we're able to help with that. Or that we sponsor the West Ashley football team. Right. So any of those things, like that's where we want to be. That's where our customers are. And the other part of that is, and you'll hear this with people that ask me for donations or for us to sponsor something. We very rarely just write the check. My question always is, can I come there? Can I have a booth there? Can I come to the game? Can I talk to the families? We want to be involved in it so that people know that they're doing business with us and how much we appreciate, their support of our company as well.
Right. And that really makes a difference when you make that personal connection. Another thing making a difference, I think, is your TikTok account. I just went down the rabbit hole of watching all your fun videos. I have so many questions.
Yes.
First of all, I think for like heating and air, you guys are so creative about the content. Like, I don't know anything. I probably would never follow like a heating and air company. I'm like, they are fantastic. This is really interesting. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
I want to start with some of the women. There was a younger blonde woman on the page. Who is that?
So that is my bonus daughter, David's daughter, Haley. So great. We love her so much and the fact that she's here. So last summer, she's working at a hardware store and had been for a while. But we asked her, if she might want to come help us in the office because we were just growing and we really needed some help. And so she was like, yeah, I want to work with y'all. So she came and she was with me for like 2 or 3 days. And I said, Haley, it's probably important for you to go out and ride with your dad, because it's always great if you know what's going on in the field, so that when a customer calls in, you can kind of walk them through what's going to happen, what they can expect. And then you'll have an appreciation for, the technicians in the field. She said, great, that sounds like a great idea. So I think that was a Wednesday. She's never come back. Came back to the office.
I mean, she's like doing the work. I don't know what she was doing, but she was like, had the
she's installed apprentice, and I say apprentice. She really is. She's one part of an install team. There are 2 people on the team, and she's a strong member of that team, and she just loves it. Of course, it's in her blood, because her dad and lots of relatives have been in the industry. But she's super smart, and she has great attention to detail, and she's just going to kill it. And we're big supporters of the trades anyway, but women in the trades, man, there's so many possibilities and a great place to make money. And there's no man or woman out there. It's just worker or worker. So
I would love to see when people answer the door with a certain set expectation and they see her. I would just love to see the faces. That's going to be pretty great.
Well, the thing that we find with Haley, honestly, one is Haley looks young, but she's 20. So that's really where she gets the pushback. But honestly, what we found, Erin, is that there's been great response to having Haley there, because as you might imagine, the people that call us are typically the female in the home, right? And so when Haley is there, even if David is there, who's the owner of the company, or with another install technician, there's just a level of comfort that her being there provides. One, she's a great communicator anyway, but it's just one more way that we want to make customers really feel comfortable with every part of the process that we have. Our technicians are amazing at communication, but it's always nice when Haley's there too.
That's a great point. And I saw on your TikTok, people have to go find it because there's some great reviews. I think, was that TJ Phillips?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. We love it.
It's a long one, but I mean, go listen to it and people will hire you immediately. He had glowing things to say.
Right.
Last question before we go, seasons are changing. I'm thinking myself like, my gosh, we need to get this done. Preventative maintenance. What should we be doing now at this time of year? Preparing us instead of letting things go and paying a lot more money down the line.
Yeah, that's biggest thing is get your maintenance done. Here in Charleston and in warmer climates like it is, it is so important. Change your filters, which you can do yourself. That's a major thing. But the next part is having us come out and do a full cleaning of the indoor and outdoor coils. We check all the electrical systems. And the biggest thing is the drain line. Your drain line, though, you can have the cleanest house. It doesn't matter. It has to do with the air and this yucky sludge that can get in that drain line. And what happens is then the water backs up into the pan and it turns your system off. And so here you are at 4th of July, hottest day of the year, and your system doesn't work. So we do that. We make sure we actually have some treatments that we can put in the pan to make sure that it stays that way till the next visit. But super important for you to get that maintenance done so that, one, you have a relationship with an HVAC company before it's hot outside. And to be honest, what we really love, even back to when it was really cold outside on Christmas Eve, we ran lots of calls on Christmas Eve, but not one to one of our maintenance customers because they were all taken care of. So
That's your next ad, Stephanie. If you don't want to call us on Christmas Eve, do your maintenance.
That's right. That's right. Or 4th of July.
Or 4th of July. If you don't want to talk to us on a holiday, please do your maintenance.
That's right. That's right. And we're actually, we're doing a special right now. So it's a great time to call.
Yes. Please say that. That was my next question because I'm going to add it to my list for me personally to call you. But what's the best way to get a hold of you and what are your specials right now?
Yeah, so right now, normally our maintenance, it's called the Captain's Club, which you can actually go online and purchase. We have a store online. You don't even have to call us. Go to our website. You can buy it online and we'll call or text you. So you don't even have to talk to us until you see us at the door. It's normally $195 and $125 for each additional system, but all systems are $99 right now, just until we get closer to the summer. So definitely don't wait for that. It's a deal. It's a steal for $99. And that brings us out twice a year. So otherwise, go on our website or you're welcome to call us. We'll take your call at any time.
The Captain's Club, that includes, I saw on your TikTok where you're like washing the units. That includes that.
Oh, it gets all sudsed up. It's like it's all shiny and brand new.
It looks so good when you're done. Stephanie, I'm looking for, it's anchorheatingandair.com. That easy. To find you, Google it on TikTok. Are you on Instagram as well, I imagine?
We are on Instagram. It's not our favorite. TikTok is definitely where we like to be.
Fun. You hang out on TikTok. Anything else you'd like to add before we go?
No, thank you so much for having us. We are so lucky. We honestly have the best customers and the best employees in town. We are so blessed at what we are doing. And we're just going to continue to do that and be able to continue to give back to the community, Charleston, that we love so much.
All right. Thank you so much. And you have been listening to Charleston Women Podcast with Anchor Heating and Air.
Thanks for spending time with Charleston Women Podcast. Please like us and follow us on whatever platform you're using to access Charleston Women Podcast.